Okay, so I guess the live stream has been ready. So I'm just providing the live stream link as well. It has already started live streaming. Stream settings and all that is fine. So here's the stream URL. So if someone wants to attend from YouTube, they can also like attend through you. Yeah. Message done. So Dipayanda, should we start now?
Start now.
Okay, so I'm just at first starting the recording. Okay, so the recording for the session has also started. Can everybody just ping me if the screen is visible or if the screen is adequately visible? Like you can use the chat section to type it down. If everything is okay, can you please chat it? Okay, 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 fine. So I hope the screen is visible. So today is the first official day of the Compose Camp organized by GDSC RKNGC in line with the GDSC India. So today what we will be going to learn is the Android basics with Compose, the Kotlin part, the fundamentals of Kotlin. So I am the host and instructor for the session. And let me introduce myself. I am DEBARUN ACHARYA, the lead of GDSC RKMGC and core team at the application division of GDSC RKMGC. So what is Compose Camp? So Compose Camp is a hands-on introduction to learning how you can build Android apps with Jetpack Compose. So there are some prerequisites. So what are the prerequisites? So the prerequisites to this course are not that much and only like basic computer literacy, like the basic knowledge of how to operate on a computer device, basic mathematical skills, computer and a headphone, a stable internet connection, and optional Android device and a USB cable to test your application on a live device. So what are the Compose Camp learning objectives? So the Compose Camp learning objectives are building your first Android app, setting up Android Studio on your computer, learning the basics of Kotlin programming language, learning Jetpack Compose, and discovering the resources to continue learning. So why are you here? So you are here to create your first application or Android application with the latest framework that Google provides. That is the Jetpack Compose for UI. So if you have been doing the Android application programming for a while, you would be knowing that the Android application programming requires two basic part, like one for the layout, that is the XML part, and other is for the programming part or the logical part. That is done by either Kotlin or Java. Kotlin being the recommended language and the official language for Android currently. So, a session overview. So, in this session, we will be discussing about the fundamentals of Kotlin. Since the Jetpack Compose library is also made on Kotlin language. So, what it does is basically reduce the uh, number of files from 2 to 1 for one activity. So, here we will be having one activity written in Kotlin that will contain both the programming part and the UI part. So, what is Kotlin programming language? So before starting with the Kotlin programming language, I would request you to if log in from your laptop and like start with the Kotlin playground. So I am just leaving you the link for the Kotlin playground because we'll be writing and testing all our Kotlin codes here. So I have just shared the link for the Kotlin playground. Kindly log on to the kindly log on to this from your laptop. Like the link has been shared on the chat section for the Kotlin playground. So I will be pausing for 2 minutes so that you all can log on to this Kotlin playground. Let's resume. I hope all of you have opened the Kotlin playground on your devices, and let's move on. So, what is a program? So, a program is a series of instructions for a computer to perform some action. For example, this is a Kotlin code that is fun main, println hello world, and the output will be hello world. So, first of all, the fun stands for function in Kotlin, and main is the main function, and println is the print statement in Kotlin. So first, I will like request all of you to run this line of code to try it out yourself on the Kotlin playground. And once it is done, just ping me yes, 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 done or done, 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 done. So kindly write this line of code on your Kotlin playground. Okay. So I hope all of you have done it. So what is a code? So a code is a step-by-step instruction for what the computer should do. And the fun main, as I said, is the main function. The main function is the entry point or starting point of the program. So a program execution starts from the main function. So what is a function? A function is a segment of a program that performs a specific task. You can have many functions in your program or only one single one. The single one is the main function, that is the mandatory. So defining a function. So a function in a Kotlin program begins with a fun keyword. So fun stands for function in Kotlin. So fun display introduction. The display introduction is the name of the function. So as I said, function have a name so that they can be called. So this is the function name. So this sets or parentheses after the function name is called the function input. We accept arguments or values into the function from this part of the program. So these are called the curly braces, and the curly braces contain the function body, that is what to be executed once this function is called. So putting it together, so let us create a program to display this output like, hi, I am Megan and I am 28 years old. So this will be the end result of this module. So what are variables? A variable is a container for a single piece of data. A variable is assigned to a name, and when it varies or changes, it is called a variable. So example, my name is something and my age is something. These two are variables. So this can be changed. Like name value can be Megan, name value can be Janet. The age value can be 28 or 49 depending on the variable values. So these are the basic data types that Kotlin is having. First is the string that is used to accept the text directly. Examples are add, contact, and search. Then we have the integer, that is the whole integer number. That can be a positive or a negative one. Then we have the double, that is the one kind of floating point representation. And then we have the float, that is also for the floating point representation, but is less precise than double. And we finally have the boolean, that is true or false, and that is used to define a logical output. So defining a variable. So in Kotlin, there are two ways to define a variable. First is the val keyword, and then there is the var keyword. So val keyword is like the constant in other programming languages. So once you define a variable name with the keyword val, and once it is initialized, its value cannot be changed during the execution of the program. On the other hand, the value of var, like the variable declared using the var keyword, can change the value during the execution of a program. So defining a variable. So a variable starts with a var or a val keyword. So as I said, val is a constant and var is a mutable variable. So val is immutable, that is, it cannot be further reinitialized or changed while or updated, while the var can be changed, or it is mutable. So this is how a variable is defined in a function. So here you will see, like, the first thing is, after the keyword, the name. A variable must have a name. Then followed by a colon. There we provide the data type in Kotlin. And then finally we have the value of the variable. So this is an interesting fact about Kotlin, like how we used to do in Python. If we do not explicitly declare the data type, the Kotlin can on itself assume the data type and like use like a simple machine initialized data type for the purpose. Like for example, if you just write val name equal to Megan and exclude the string part, then also it will automatically assume the data type as string. So this like if you do not provide the data type explicitly, it will implicitly assume the data type, as in other programming languages like Python. So putting it together, so I would now like to request you to, like, use your Kotlin playground and type this program. And once it is done, say done. I am providing 3 minutes for this task. If somebody is new, I am just resharing the Kotlin playground link. So basically, all the Kotlin based programming that we will be doing here will be run on this Kotlin playground platform. So I hope everybody has done it. So let us move to the next slide. So I hope that this is how it should have, like, now put that function, like the function that you have, like, declared inside the main function, like fun main, and then display introduction, so that the main function because the entry point of a program is the main function. So to call any other function, we must call it from the main function itself. Another important thing in Kotlin is that both using a semicolon and not using a semicolon is allowed. So the programmer is having the freedom to choose either to use a semicolon or not use a semicolon. So once you declared it under the main function, I hope you will get output something like this. Okay. So this was all for the fundamentals of Kotlin. Now let us jump into the Kotlin playground itself. So here let us define a function to like add a number and print it out. So let us term this function as function add, and let us leave it as non-parameterized only, and let us assume that there are two variables are a equal to 5 or b equal to 6, and let us use a val to store the result permanently in a constant. So c is equal to a plus b, and println the result of the sum is equal to plus c, and let us call this function in the main. So let us try this function out. So as you can see, it provides the result of the sum is 11. So this println statement and everything is somewhat similar to Java. So those who are familiar in Java will find it pretty much easy to maneuver in Kotlin, because Kotlin is like a streamed down version of Java itself. So let us try with a concatenation problem, that is a string concatenation. So let me define another function. On CONCAT, like concatenation is joining of two strings. As I said, the variable can be explicitly declared, so I can like declare var in like string equal to let's say my name is Debarun, DEBARUN. Sorry, let me just name the variable like uh, initial I, and then this, then I say var f string equal to, let's say my surname ACHARYA, and then I provide the semicolon, and then I say val con, like for concatenation string equal to I plus f. Then I print con, that is the concatenated string, and I have to like call it from here. So let me call concat. Although this function add is present, and since I am not calling it from the main function, it will not run. So what we will have the output as Debarun Acharya. So this is how the concatenation is performed using the Kotlin. So this was all for the fundamental of Kotlin module. If you have any doubt, uh, I request you to start asking your queries. And Dipayanda, please inform me if there are any queries in the chat. I am just like switching on the Q&A section, I guess. The Q&A section is switched on or something like. Let me see the Q&A section. Okay, so like there is the Q&A section in the chat. I guess it is visible to all. Can anyone confirm if the Q&A section is visible to all in the chat section? Okay, so the Q&A section is available. So write your doubts in the Q&A section, and like I will try to solve your doubts, or Dipanda will be trying to solve your doubts. So after this Q&A session, we will be having a 15 minutes break, and then we will start with our upcoming module, that is setting up Android Studio. And so now it's a time for the break, and in the meanwhile, you can share what you have learned using the hashtag ComposCamp on social media. And to learn more, these are some of the resources which will be shared with you after the like setting up Android Studio module has been completed. So ask your Q&A, and Dipayanda will be here to answer it. In the meanwhile, take a break after your Q&A has been answered. We will start the setting up Android Studio module from 3:45 p.m. Thank you. Dipayanda, can you please show them the concat module? I'm just sharing the total program file that I have just shown. Just a minute. I provided the code. Also, I'm just sharing the link for the same. Just a minute. So here is the Kotlin playground link for how much we have done. So feel free to ask any more questions in the Q&A section. The break will end at 3:45. The break will end at 3:45. If you have any questions till now, please ask your question in the Q&A section of the chat. We will be resuming within 1 minute. So get ready.
Okay, so welcome back, guys. So if you have any question, then write down in the DM section. Okay.
So if you are not having any question as pre-assumed, since you have not yet submitted any questions, so let me continue with the session. So welcome back, everybody. So welcome back to the pathway 2 of day 1, that is Android Studio. So what is the session overview? So what we will be learning in this session? We will be learning about how to set up Android Studio from the installation and all the supporting guides to all the way to using emulator and the composable elements in it. So let us begin. So what is Android Studio? So Android Studio is a integrated development environment or IDE provided by Google, which is a like modified version of IntelliJ IDEA, that is the JetBrains provided IntelliJ IDEA platform. So this is the layout of Android Studio. On the left side, we see that there is the project view panel. On the right side, the green colored box, we see the code view where we can see our codes. There are three types of views in Android Studio. That is the code, the split where we can see both the code and the preview of the design, and the design only. So this is the design view where we only see the design. Next we see the split view. So in this split view, we see both the code and the preview of the code side by side. So this is a greeting function, that is a composable function, that is a Jetpack Compose integrated UI function. What the function is doing is it is uh, creating a text element with hello and argument passed on in string. We are passing this argument from the program part, that is the main activity program part, on create part, and then passing on to the fun greeting function, and the preview is happening. So let's zoom into the greeting function. So here we can see annotation, that is at and something written after this is used. So at composable. So so as we know that Jetpack Compose is used to declare the UI layout or the UI elements in a Kotlin file without the necessity of an additional XML layout file. So here, uh, when we use the annotation at composable, it is used to declare that the upcoming function is a composable function. That is, it contains the UI element. So we have this function from greeting name string. So it is accepting an argument or an input as a string and then passing that string into text equal to hello name. So this hello can be changed into anything like howdy name, so howdy Android. And then we have to declare a default preview. So what is this default preview? So as we know that Jetpack Compose is a modern UI layout or modern Android programming architecture. It provides us the power to have the instantaneous preview without even using any emulator or a physical device, just side by side. So in order to see our preview, we have to declare a preview annotation along with the composable annotation. The preview function goes as annotation preview. Then there is the argument of preview annotation. We will come to that in a later part. Then we will have the composable annotation signifying that the upcoming function is a composable function. Then we are declaring the default preview, that is the function default preview. And then we are declaring a theme, that is first compose project theme. And under that theme, we are calling the greeting function along with passing the argument Android. So it will accept the Android argument and display the result. So we can pass any argument and it will accept it. So here is the overview of the same code snippet. Okay. So before proceeding into this further, I would like to request you to install Android Studio. And let me show you how to install Android Studio at first. So just let me share the screen. Share screen and so I hope my screen is being shared. Can you please mention on the chat if my screen is being shared and if the display and all the things are fine? Like I can see a comment from Divyangshu. Is the display okay? Or like Dipayanda, can you just mention if the display is all right now? Excuse Dipayanda, can you just clarify if the screen is all right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for the confirmation. So let me show you how to download Android Studio. So first on Google, search Android Studio. So this is the first page you will get to download the Android Studio. So let me show you this page. So by clicking here and by accepting these terms and conditions, you will get the link to download Android. So I am skipping this part as I already installed Android. But there is one more thing to be aware of. Before installing Android Studio, we have to install a Java Development Kit or JDK. So first thing we have to download a JDK. So for that, search JDK in Google and then go to the Oracle site to download the JDK. According to your system preference like Linux or macOS or Windows, download and install the JDK and then proceed to download the Android Studio because the Android Studio depends on the JDK. Installing Android Studio without installing the JDK first will render Android Studio useless until and unless the JDK has been properly installed. So I shall be assuming that everyone is going to like download and install Android Studio and JDK now. So like shall I provide you guys with like 2 to 3 minutes. I am just providing the link for downloading these elements. So this is the first link I am providing. This is for the JDK, and now I am providing the second link for the Android Studio downloading part. So to get a more hands-on approach to programming, I would like to request you to kindly download and install the Android Studio. And if you have any query, kindly get back to us in the form of chat or in the Q&A section. Dipayanda will be here to help you out with any doubt in installing the Android Studio. Dipayanda, please, can you just help them out if they have any issues regarding the installation process of JDK and Android Studio? Thank you. I'll be giving you, since Android Studio takes a certain amount of time, I'll be giving you 10 minutes to install JDK and Android Studio. So I will be resuming the session from 4:05. In the meantime, Dipayanda, please continue them. You can please share your screen and show them the steps if they are somewhere stuck in the installation process. Thank you.
Sure.
So, welcome back, guys. I hope you all have like downloaded the application. If you are facing an issue as Dipayan has suggested, then we are open to extending the break time to another 10 to 15 minutes if necessary. In that case, we will be starting back from 4:30 around or like 4:15 if required. Okay, so Dipanda, please help Divyanshu on how to install the JDK. Dipanda, please share your screen and so Divyanshu how to like install this JDK. Hello, am I audible? Dipanda, can you just hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just please show Divyanshu how to install this JDK. Yeah, just please share your screen and show Divyanshu's.
Okay, okay. So just search the install JDK, yeah, and here you can download the JDK file. If you are in Windows, then download this x64 installer. Okay, this one.
No, Divyanshu, please install as Dipanda has shown. It would be like easier for you to follow up.
After installing, just click the next button, and if you want to change the path, then change. And I want to not change this path, so I'm clicking the next button, and after that you will install your JDK. To check the version of your Java system, just write down Java's hyphen version. Okay.
So, Divyangshu, is your installation or is everybody's installation of Android Studio complete? If yes, please mention that in the chat section. Else, we will continue. Okay, Divyangshu, we are waiting 10 minutes additional for you.
Devanshu, do you want more time? If yes, then write down yes. Otherwise, we will start the session now. Okay, so we will start at 4:30 p.m. Okay, take your time. Okay, so let's resume the session.
Fine. So we will be resuming the session. So let me share the screen. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So this is the greetings function to be typed in Android Studio, and this will display this default preview. Next, we will be knowing what is an emulator. The Android emulator emulates. First of all, am I audible? Just can anyone confirm if I'm audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. Great. So The Android emulator emulates Android devices on your computer so that you can test your application on a variety of devices at Android API levels without needing to have each physical devices. So, how to create an Android emulator? So, to create an Android emulator, you need to select the device and device specification, select the Android version, select the favorite color app, and you can also run using your physical device. So, if you learned something, please share it on Twitter using hashtag ComposeCamp. To learn more, these are the resources. Thank you. So, if you have any further questions on this topic of Android Studio, like the emulator and all that, kindly refer to the Dipayanda. Dipayanda will be here to help you out with that. We'll be starting with the next session at 5 p.m. and that session will be an intensive one. And by that time, we would recommend every one of you to have Android Studio installed with all the SDKs. Thank you. Welcome back. Am I audible to everyone? Can you please confirm the audibility of my audio? Uh, Vanda, am I audible? Can you just confirm if I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm just carrying forward with the day one pathway three. So before starting this pathway, I highly recommend everyone to like switch on their or like open the Android Studio. Okay. So welcome back. First of all, if there are questions or if there are any questions, kindly ask them in the chat section, and Dipanda will reply to them with due intensity. Okay. So this session is about Jetpack Compose. So what is Jetpack Compose? So jet in a composable function, it describes a part of a UI. It doesn't return anything. It takes some input and generates what's shown on the screen, and it might emit several UI elements. So we will be playing with the same greeting function. We have the composable, then the function name, and then the argument string accordingly. So we will be creating a pet adoption app. So at first, we declare the annotation add composable, and then in Kotlin name a function fun pet name, and then we call a text function or sub function, and then name it text equal to bark. My name is Koda, and in the default preview we call the pet name, and here is the default preview. Till this, I would request you to write on your Android Studio, and at the end of the session, there will be a surprise challenge for all of you to get it done. Fine. So then the next thing would be pet information. With this also starts with the annotation at composable, and then there is the pet information. Then there is the text, and then there is the text description. So now there comes the concept of column and rows. To show something like this, we need to use column. In the column, we will pass both these functions to be shown one after the other, and then we will call this bit adoption information, and then it will look like this. Column is pretty much required to be used. Then there are these resources. The resources are to be added in the drawable file. This will be helpful while adding images and so and so. So to add the image, what we use is we call R. R stands for R class or resource class. Dot drawable. Drawable is the directory or folder name. Then coda. Coda is the file name. Fine. So we call the pet image. For that, we declare a composable function and name it pet image. Then we declare the image at val image equal to painter resource, then id equal to r dot drawable dot coda. That is, we store the image in this variable val image. Then we call a image painter, that is image painter equal to the image name, and then content description equal to the description of the image. And then we declare all these three in line in the column so that it like shows one after the other. So voila, finally you will have an app like this. So if you share something from the camp, do share it using the hashtag compose camp. So now it's time for some hands-on programming. So let us just uh, move over. In the meantime, if you have any question, just kindly ping it down. So I hope my screen is visible. So let me start with Android Studio. So the file that you are seeing is of a sort of the app that we have shown you. So we would request you to create a happy birthday app to wish a happy birthday, which will contain an image frame, something like this. Here, like how where we have it, and just a minute. Top is 400, and let me decrypt it. Yeah. So there will be something like this, and we will be starting from here. Just let me refresh it. Uh, Refresh the preview section. Okay, so this is one of the like pretty great feature of Compose, as I had said. Like you can instantaneously see the preview without need for a emulator. So let me just define the structure of this app. So here we are having this class which was called from like a new compose empty compose activity. Then here we declared this composable function birthday greeting with image, and we called the image. Then we defined the image parameters or image params. Then we called the text, and in the text we described the text parameters. And here, as you can see, this is the photo frame on behind, and then on top of it there is something text written on it. So your task will be to create a similar app and submit it within 9 p.m. Like submit the APK file of it within 9 p.m. A form will be shared regarding that, or the submission protocols for that will be shared, or just let me share it now. So after you have this app ready, just a minute. So after you have this app ready, kindly like you can make this app in a group also. This happy birthday or app or this sort of app in a activity. After you have made this app, kindly mail it to. Just let me type. You can mail it here. You can mail it to debarun@gdsc.in. After you can form a team to make this app also. So let me just define the app once again. So here, first of all, we have the main function that is for the uh, actual programming part, where we are calling this happy birthday text theme. Then here we have this birthday greetings with image, and there we are calling this image, storing it in the vendor resource and describing its parameters. Then we are calling this happy birthday text, that is this function, and we are passing the like message and from, like message equal to and from equal to. So this is how the arguments are passed in composable in the Kotlin. Like you define the params and then equal to, or you can just ignore and use comma and pass both the things. Then we describe the params like for text font size and modifier with the padding with top and start. Start means from left how much padding is there. Top means from top how much padding is there. DP stands for display pixels, and then we define it for the second text, that is the DEBARUN ACHARYA second text. And then we declare this preview, and uh, like here we have done this show system UI so that this cool like animation of a system UI will come, or theme of a system UI will come. And here we have shown the preview. So your task is to create a similar app with the image and text and send it to the email mentioned below. So this was your task for the day. Hope you have done it great. And for any other learning resources, you can get from the slides that will be shared soon after the event or by end of the event series. And if you have any question, kindly ask it. The Panda is here to help. And if you if you still have no issues, then you can like submit your feedback for the event. And uh, in the meantime, you can like register for the upcoming event. Just let me share the link for the upcoming event. So in the meantime, kindly share for like register for day two of the event. So I have shared the link for the day two of the event. So as Rishi has asked, uh, how to put this image. So just let me show you. So to put an image, you have to call this val image equal to painter resource. The painter resource paints the image, and then call the image from like here you can see under the drivable folder this head start file is available, head start.png. So R is the resource root file, then there is the drawable that is the name of this folder, and then there is the name of the file head start. Then we are defining the image attributes and then we are calling it at the preview panel down below. Any more questions? Any more questions? Divyanshu, Javed, Rishi, and Shantu, any questions? Okay, I hope you have got it. So you can make a team of 2 to 3 people, or you can like on your own submit it. Okay. So before leaving, kindly sign up for the day two and leave your feedback. And if you have any question, Deepa and I will be here for next 5 minutes till 5:15. So you can ask your doubts, and after that we will wrap up the session. So if you have any question, kindly ask. We will be turning off the session soon. So if you are not having any question as of now, if you are not having any question, so we are wrapping up the session. Thank you for attending, and do get tomorrow at exactly 7 p.m. for the day two of the event. Thank you.